Heyo, good evening and welcome to Omnibros the Wednesday show. I'm OmniDog, one of your co-hosts, with my other co-host from Comics Guide 101, Luis. How's it going, Luis?
Baba Booey.
Hey now.
Hey
Hit him
now.
with the hind.
Hey, it's good, man. It's another Wednesday here in beautiful Orlando, Florida, and just trying to stay out of the sun and trying to stay out of the heat as much as possible.
Yeah, it's supposed to be getting super hot here starting tomorrow.
What's the temperature over there right now?
Well, it was pretty nice today. It was in the mid-80s, but it's supposed to be getting into the upper 90s starting tomorrow through Sunday.
Holy crap. Wow.
Yeah, that's not pleasant.
That is not pleasant at all. That sounds kind of horrible, actually.
It is.
It's the humidity that gets you. It's not the heat.
Yeah, the humidity just envelops you like a moisture blanket. Speaking of enveloping you, that's how IST envelops their books in a foam blanket, practically. Yeah. Okay, I'm not making the analogy right. InStockTrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off your collected editions. Loyalty discounts add another 2 to 3%. Soon will be coming the quarterly Omnibroslive discount code. Yes. Over $50 in orders gets you free shipping in the United States. Fabulous customer service, and you say it better than I do, Lou. How do they package their books?
Yes, they have exemplary packaging. Think about it like this. You have a newborn child. It's wrapped up in a nice blanket, and you just want to take it home. That is the type of care that In-Stock Trades gives. They are amazing with their packaging. I've never had a book shipped to me and been damaged. Every single book that I've had with them has been in near brand spanking new or perfect condition.
Yes, I've never had a problem with them at all.
That's right. And you've had actually their damaged books, their quote-unquote damaged books, and it's incredible.
Yeah, I bought a lot of damaged books from there, and I have trouble finding any damage.
Mm-hmm. So, Jess, we, on the eve of Killer Be Killed releasing its final issue today, I thought it would be really cool and it would be really right if we decided to do a crime episode. We both really love crime books, we love crime films, and we just kind of like the crime genre in general. I really dig the crime genre simply because of how flexible it is, because you can mix in sci-fi, you can mix in horror, you can mix in so many other different genres into crime, and it really works.
Yeah, I went through a period for about 7 years where all I read were mysteries and crime stories. This was probably in the 90s, and that's all I read were mysteries, and I just love mysteries that need to be solved. You know, some crime happens, the mystery needs to be solved. So yeah, I dig crime movies. I love crime comic books. I love true crime documentaries. I've got one on my DVR now that I gotta watch. It's about it's a Netflix one. It's about somebody, this scam artist murderer that was from Texas, and Riley drove by his house a couple of months ago, and I can't think of I can't think of the guy's name now, but I love crime documentaries too.
I know we mentioned movies, but I also kind of, just because I'm that kind of a guy, I expanded my list past movies. I'm also doing kind of TV shows and things like that, just kind of make it a bit more broad. Because the past few years, man, we have gotten some fantastic crime TV shows. And yes, Matt, I'm sorry, The Wire isn't on the list because I haven't seen The Wire.
Okay, I have TV shows on my list that I mean, I haven't thought of it, but I'm sure I can come up with them because I used to love cop shows. I love cop shows.
Were you a fan of Cops? Did you ever watch Cops?
I did like Cops. My favorite show ever, though, was World's Wildest Police Videos.
Oh, man, those were great, where they would do the chases and they would go crazy. Oh, man, those were fantastic.
I loved that show. I mean, I would just stand in front of it my jaw would open and I would just be mesmerized by it. So yeah, I liked Cops. It was fun. I have like a 20th anniversary DVD of it with the best of Cops. It was always good when they had to tase somebody.
That was always the fun part. Where in college we would get together and we would watch Cops, and we would watch To Catch a Predator, and we would watch like all those TV shows. We had a thing where like Sunday night we would all gather around, we would watch Catch a Predator, and we would just laugh at these guys trying to bumble through this crap.
Hey, where are you going there?
Have a seat.
Have a seat. Come right in.
It got downright creepy in some episodes. Like sometimes guys would bring ice cream and things. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, wow.
It was always great to see them run though and get tasered.
Yes, and it seemed like they were always bare-chested.
Yeah, that was weird.
They were drunk and bare-chested, and they were the ones that got tased.
It always was like the bare-chested kind of redneck guys that would get tased. It was always the funniest stuff. We would actively root for them to get tased.
Totally. That was the best part of the show, hearing them go. There's the sound effects that would come out of their mouth as they would get tased.
I remember one episode where a guy just straight up just jumps right through the window just to try to get away.
On Cops?
On Cops.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
No, it was To Catch a Predator.
Oh, To Catch a Predator.
Yeah. It was To Catch a Predator. Like he jumped out of the window to get away.
Oh man, I don't remember that one.
Oh man, it was an oldie. That was a really oldie. But yeah, so today we're gonna be talking about our favorite crime movies, TV shows, or anything like that. And just as always, I'm gonna let you have the show floor first. What do you got at your first pick?
I don't have these in any particular order. This is just how they came to my mind. The first one I like is L.A. Confidential.
You know, I've never seen it. I know, it's a classic. It's a 1996 movie, right? 96, 97?
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Is it?
Guy Pearce and Russell Crowe at their top of their game with Kim Basinger. And there's so much intrigue and conspiracy. There's the most awesome shootout ever. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Now that I'm jacking myself up about it, I want to see it again. It's super good.
Now this is Russell Crowe before he got fat, right?
Oh yeah, he's totally in shape and kick ass in this thing.
Okay. Yeah, I've always heard about it, but what's like the general premise of LA Confidential?
Gosh, I don't think I've seen it in so long, but they're two detectives and they're interested in the same gal. There's crooked cops along with like a crooked government going on in LA. And I remember there's this awesome scene. It's hard for me to describe. It's just, it's like a conspiracy with a bunch of action in it with the greatest shootout ever. It's got a shootout near the end that's just epic.
And this is set in 1996? Like it's set in the same year that it's filmed, or is it set like in the past?
I don't remember that it was set in the past. I think it's set currently. It's not like it's a 1930s movie.
Okay. It's been on my list for the longest time to sit down and watch LA Confidential. I've heard it's really good. I've heard it's a classic. I've just never sat down with it.
Okay, Matt Miranda says it's set in the 50s. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense because I remember the bad guy had a hat and a funky suit. So yeah, okay. It is awesome though. I haven't seen it in so long, so this reminds me that I need to see it again.
Dr. Copernicus says there was a crop of copycat movies after LA Confidential. My fondest memory is picking up a VHS box in the rental store of a movie starring James Caan with the tagline LA Confidential on the back. Oh my God, now I want to see that.
LA Confidential.
Yeah, LA Confidential.
I never heard of that.
It sounds like it would kind of be the porno version of LA Confidential.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
You can't leave off 48 Hours, Point Break, or Lethal Weapon. There's a lot of people are throwing in their suggestions into the mix in the chat.
Yeah, 48 Hours. I love 48 Hours. Never saw Point Break, but I did see 3 of the Lethal Weapons.
Yeah, you saw the first one, which is the best one.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn. My first pick is Kindergarten Cop. No, I'm kidding. I saw the Clarknado. I saw the Clarknado had that on there. Man, some people are already calling out our picks. My first pick is, of course, Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh, clutch choice.
Silence of the Lambs is a fantastic film. A lot of people don't actually know that it's actually, in many ways, a sequel to another Hannibal movie that came out before Silence of the Lambs.
Red Dragon.
Well, Red Dragon is the prequel, is the first book, but there was actually a movie that came out before Silence of the Lamb proper that we know, and that served as kind of a prequel leading up to this film.
Manhunter.
Michael Mann's Manhunter.
That was a great movie.
Manhunter is fucking phenomenal. If you guys are out there and you like Silence of the Lambs, go check out Manhunter. It's directed by Michael Mann, and it stars, man, it's been so long since I've seen it, but it has the guy that plays Hannibal Lecter is completely different. The tone is completely different. It's more realistic, but it's phenomenal. There's a great scene involving a tiger that is it just sends shivers down my spine every single time I check it out. But Silence of the Lambs, man, it's so good. Anthony Hopkins delivers just a tour de force performance, and you only get him in about 17 minutes of that film. You don't get him in that movie that long.
Huh, really?
Yeah, he's not in it that long, and he got an Oscar for it. You know the classic scene of the fava beans and the Chianti?
Yeah.
It's a way for the character to symbolize that he's off of his meds.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's not supposed to be, I forgot where I read this. I read this a few years ago. Because he's not supposed to be eating fava beans and a Chianti on his meds. So in a way, he's kind of telling them, I'm off my meds right now.
Oh.
So, the whole scene with Buffalo Bill just creepy as hell.
Oh my God. That scene with her entering Buffalo Bill's house freaking freaked me out.
Yeah. To this day, it's one of those scenes that it creeps me out. It's the thing that I have a problem with Silence of the Lambs is the prison stuff, where it looks like the cell he's in is something that was built for Magneto, where everything is like plastic and everything. It's completely, you have to, if you've studied criminal justice and if you've ever been to a prison, for whatever reason, you know that that's just, the jail cells that he's in is a fucking fantasy of what a real prison cell is like.
I'll have to take your word for that.
But it's fantastic. Silence of the Lambs is one of those movies that I put on maybe once every year just to revisit it, because I really dig that movie.
Yeah. I have a feeling we're going to cross over on the next one. Godfather Parts 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have 2 on my list.
Oh, not 1?
Not 1. I love 2 more than 1.
Okay. I love 1 more than 2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's fight. No. Okay, well, why don't you start off with number 1 and tell me why you like it, and we'll get to jump around.
Well,
and the 3-hour wedding scene that kicks off the movie.
First of all, I remember in 6th grade reading page 27 in the Godfather paperback. It was page 27, which is the scene where Sonny is banging one of the bridesmaids or something in the upper bedroom, and it goes into graphic detail. And I remember sitting on the school bus reading that page over and over again. I don't know. It's just got great performances by an all-star cast, with iconic scenes in it, several iconic scenes in it. You start off with the horse's head. You start off with you can talk about all the people coming into the Godfather on the day of his daughter's wedding, and Luca Brasi and what's his name, the singer who breaks down and cries, asking for a favor that ends up leading to the horse's head getting cut off. And you've got Fredo, who's such a wiener, and Sonny, who's a live wire, and Michael, who ends up taking over, and what's her name's husband that ends up being the mole, and just great character performances with a really humanized head of the family. Marlon Brando as the head of the crime family. You know, it's okay for him to do prostitution and gambling and stuff, but he doesn't like drugs. And just how realistic it all seemed. There was some kind of moral code. And then, of course, the epic scene where there's the consolidation of the 5 families by Michael, with incredible music and a crescendo of just these assassinations for Michael to take over. That movie, I'm not saying it's better than Godfather 2. I just like it better than Godfather 2. Godfather 2 is awesome, but that's my movie, Godfather 1.
Okay, that's a fantastic pick. I mean, and it has so many iconic scenes in it. Like you said, when you see all the 5 families come together at that table, and you're like, oh shit, like this is going down. And you see Michael's rise to power when he really doesn't want it at first. He kind of, at first, it's been a long time since I've seen this, but at the beginning of the movie, if I remember correctly, he didn't really want to take over. He didn't want this rise of power or anything, and he slowly starts falling into the role. And that scene where the Godfather ends up dying in the tomato field is beautiful. It's iconic. It's such a beautiful scene. Godfather 2 for me is, I like it a little bit more than Godfather 1, simply because I'm a sucker for origin stories, and seeing the origin story of the Corleone family. And who was it that played it? It was it De Niro? It was De Niro, right? Seeing De Niro kind of play that origin story out, and you see his rise to power and how all that took place, I really dug that aspect of it, and it kept bouncing back and forth. And then, you have the scene, "You broke my heart, Fredo."
Yeah.
The kiss of death, and then Fredo ends up dying. Oh man, so many great, between those 2 movies, you have so many great and iconic moments.
Yeah, totally.
For my next pick, I'm going to go with my favorite mobster movie. I actually enjoy this more than Godfather and Godfather 2, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. I knew you were going to say that.
I love Goodfellas, dude. Goodfellas is one of those, I do watch Goodfellas at least once a year. It's such a great movie. You see his rise to, again, you're seeing his rise to power from where he's just kind of this schmuck who's just working for the mob. And I don't remember the character's name. It's been a while. At the end, when you see his monumental freak out because of the helicopter that's around him, and he's having a meltdown and things like that. And then Joe Pesci's unstable ass throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. Was it Henry Hill?
Yes, it was Henry Hill. And then you see, like, Joe, you have the iconic line of, "Am I funny to you? Am I funny like a clown?"
Am I funny like a clown? Do I amuse you?
Joe Pesci was genuinely kind of frightening in that film. Now that I think about it. Like, he was so unstable, you didn't know what he was going to do next, because he could smile at you, and then the next second, he flips the fuck out and shoots you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a jarring scene when he shot the little teenage waiter for telling him "fuck you" in the beginning of the movie, or maybe the middle of the movie. And he just shoots the kid. Some 16-year-old kid schlepping drinks in their little club. And he just shoots him for telling him "fuck you." And, that really freaked me out. I'm like, whoa, this is what really happens with bad guys with guns, and you disrespect them. Boom, you end up dead in a field somewhere, and you got to go explain to their mother what happened.
Yeah. What was it? Which movie was it? Leave the gun, take the cannoli?
That was Godfather Part 1, yeah.
That was Godfather 1, right? I love that. They shoot up this guy, and they leave the gun, and he's like, "Leave the gun, take the cannoli."
Yeah.
Or the I'm getting my movies mixed up now. What was the scene where he's at the toll stop, where he's at the toll booth, and they just gun him down in the toll booth?
Yeah, that's Godfather with Sonny.
That was Sonny, right? Did they gun him down in the toll booth?
Yeah, his brother-in-law set him up by beating up his sister because he knew that would set Sonny off, and he was working for the brother-in-law was working for another family at that point, and set him up so that they shot him up good.
So, and I mean, you hear the gunshots on that. Like it is a loud scene where they light his ass up in the car, and he gets out of the car, and he is just kind of trying to stand up and everything, and then they just keep wailing on him.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, Goodfellas is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies. I'm actually talking about it right now. It makes me want to sit down and watch Goodfellas. But I think it's one of Scorsese's best films.
Yeah. No, that's a classic crime film. Classic film just in general.
Go ahead, Jess. What else you got?
I just saw this recently. I like it so much. Pulp Fiction.
Oh, this is the first time you've seen Pulp Fiction?
No, it was like the 10th time I've seen Pulp Fiction, but I just saw it recently for like the 10th time. $5 milkshake. Yeah, taste me a $5 milkshake. It's the Royale with cheese. I mean, there's so many moments in that movie that I can quote, and it's so well done and so. I mean, that's the first time I ever saw a movie like that, where with the scenes all jumbled up and cut up, and you had to put them together in your head where they happened. And I just thought that was just a masterclass in editing and directing by Quentin Tarantino. And it jump-started John Travolta's career again, and it was. I just love that movie with Uma Thurman snorting up a huge thing of heroin, thinking it's coke, and
the needle.
Take him over, and he's eating the heroin dealer's eating from a box of Fruit Brute, like a classic cereal that isn't made anymore, just sitting there. Eric Stoltz just sitting there in his pajamas eating Fruit Brute. I just thought that was a classic. There's so many classic scenes in that. It was Steve Buscemi being one of the waiters in that $5 milkshake restaurant. Buddy Holly. I don't know. I just love how that's so differently put together, where the ending is at the beginning and you've got to figure out where it goes in and stuff, and you finally figure out, where it is and how it's told. I just love Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction is phenomenal, and I think there is, if I'm not mistaken, an online cut where you could watch the film in order, how everything plays out. It's another one of those films that it has so many iconic scenes in it. The scene with the gimp out of nowhere always cracks me up. What do you think is in the suitcase? Because there are a lot of theories out there that, like, there's some people that say there's like a soul inside of the suitcase.
It never crossed my mind that it was anything other than. Wait, where was the suitcase?
The suitcase that Samuel Jackson and John Travolta's character they pick up.
Oh, right. That was from The Drug Deal Gone Bad, right? When they go to kill the kids?
Yes.
I just always assumed it was cash or drugs.
There's a lot of internet speculation, like some people saying, oh, it's like a soul or something like that, or it's like a
soul.
Yeah.
Wow. I obviously don't analyze movies deeply enough. I just assumed it was cash or drugs.
No, it was always just been kind of like fan speculation as to what it is, because it's always bothered people
that we never find out what's in the bag.
That we never find out what's in. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Some people say diamonds. That's the most obvious one. Co-writer Roger Avery has said diamonds were mooted when they were penning the script, but that was rejected as too predictable. Tarantino had just used that idea in Reservoir Dogs. Besides, in a gangster world in which a case of diamonds is ho-hum, or at least par for the course, seasoned hitman Vincent seems mighty odd at the sight of the spoils. Some say Elvis's gold suit. Tarantino's reign as the king of pop culture pastiche, with a penchant for referencing other films and in jokes for cineastas, has led to some to bet that inside must be the gold lame suit from gold Elvis suit from True Romance.
The chat is on fire with this. Also, when Travolta opens the briefcase, there is a golden glow.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember. I just saw this movie, damn it.
Let's see. A small nuke. It could also be nuclear, in homage to Robert Aldrich's classic 50s noir, Kiss Me Deadly, in which a Los Angeles private eye searches for a glowing case filled with radioactive material. Here's the one that I've heard a lot. It has the soul of Marcellus Wallace. The most persistent and ingenious theory is that what is inside the case is nothing short of the soul of gang kingpin Marcellus Wallace, who sold it to Satan and is trying to get it back. The imposing mob boss wears a Band-Aid on the back of his neck, reportedly because after Ving Rhames has a scar there, he wanted to hide for the iconic over-the-shoulder shot. But it's also been argued that when the devil takes your soul, he takes it from the back of your neck. This neat esoteric factoid doesn't seem to be in the Bible, as message board amateur sleuths claim, or in some vague version of the Chinese mythology. Correct us if Google has served us poorly, but we like the theory's style. It also
oh my gosh, I need to see this movie again now. I never heard that.
Yeah, it would also explain why bullets miraculously miss Vincent and Jules in an apartment shooting.
While they're holding the briefcase, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then there's a Holy Grail. At any rate, the orange light bulb shoved in the case on set last minute creates a luminous glow that seems supernatural. So, yeah. A MacGuffin, the stuff that dreams, and Oscar. Yeah, so those are kind of the prevailing theories as to what exactly is in that suitcase.
Wow. Here I am naming it one of my favorite movies, and I don't even know the major thing in it. I suck.
You've never heard of these things?
No, I never heard anything about any of this. I don't know. I'm not a big this is where my daughter and I differ. She's constantly surfing the internet for different things, and it would never even occur to me to check on something like that on the internet. If I can find like a cute picture of a corgi and send it to her, then like my day is done. I'm a happy guy. And meanwhile, she's researching all these conspiracy theories about everything and everything political, and she's surfing the net constantly, and I'm like, corgi picture with ice cream cone, and like that's a big deal to me.
And you're good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the people have been speculating for years and years as to what exactly is in the suitcase, but nobody has ever gotten a solid answer out of Tarantino.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm glad we have this little conversation.
Clarknado, it's Tarantino. We all know it's just a whole bunch of papers with. Jess, what else you got, man?
I think I went. I said Pulp Fiction. I think you go now.
You did say Pulp Fiction. Okay, so for my next choice, since we're talking about movies like that, I am gonna go with True Detective Season 1. Have you ever seen that
movie?
No, I said I'd throw in TV shows as well.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say on top of the movies. My wife and I watched the first 3 episodes, and it was too dark for her, so I need to go back and watch it myself because I thought it was fascinating. Yeah. But I need to go back and watch it myself. We keep watching these shows, and they are just dark. Like we just started Luther with Idris Elba.
Good show.
Yeah, and even that's a little dark. Well, it's not a little dark; it's a lot dark. But I might be able to get her to finish watching that. I need to get her to watch Sherlock because she likes Benedict Cumberbatch. But True Detective was just a little too dark for her. I thought it was great. I need to go back and finish watching it.
Just watch season 1. Don't watch season 2. Season 2 was pretty terrible.
That's what I heard that too.
Yeah, season 2 is not good. They're coming out with season 3, and it's been a while since season 2. It's been at least 3 or 4 years at this point. But season 1 of True Detective, Woody Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey at the height of reconnaissance when he really couldn't.
Reconnaissance.
When he was putting out Dallas Buyers Club, when he was putting out fantastic film after film. He had Mud, Dallas Buyers Club, Lincoln Lawyer. Those were just back-to-back-to-back films. And then he puts out True Detective with Woody Harrelson, and oh my God, it's so good. It's really, really good. It has kind of – it doesn't have any real – well, it's debatable that it has like supernatural elements to it. As these two detectives, they go on the hunt for this Yellow King. It's been so long since I've seen it. And basically this murder ends up bringing them together. There's this murder involving a girl where she has this crown of thorns placed on her head, and there's like all this weird like hoodoo and voodoo iconry next to her, and it just follows them across different periods of their life and how basically this murder just ends up fucking their lives for 20 years. It's such a great series. It's only about, I think season 1's only 8 episodes, 6 episodes, something like that. So it's a short season that you could sit down and knock out in a day. And it's just one of the best seasons of TV that I've ever seen.
Okay, I definitely need to go finish it up. I definitely need to. After I catch up on Legion, but before I watch The Wire.
No, The Wire is, God, how many seasons of The Wire? It's like 6, 7 seasons?
I think Matt would be happy if we just watched like 5 episodes.
And discuss about it. We should do an episode a week. At least one episode of The Wire a week just to make Matt happy.
Yeah, and drag it out a year or two.
How many seasons of The Wire are there? Matt will be able to tell me.
Shorty Larson, a lot of people are saying 5 seasons of The Wire.
5 seasons? Okay, that's not too bad. It's probably like 12 episodes a season.
Yeah. Hey, chat, how many episodes are in a season of The Wire?
This is HBO. It's probably not too long. You want to know something? I've never seen The Sopranos.
I haven't seen it either. I was just going to admit that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. I have never seen a single episode of The Sopranos.
Me either, and it's supposed to be amazing, and I just have not gotten myself to see it.
Yeah. Supposedly it's fantastic. I mean, I've heard that they dropped the ball at the ending, but...
Yeah, I did hear about the ending.
Have you seen Sopranos, Ouija? I have my best friend here.
It's alright. Like, it's like what you said about the ending. Yeah, they kind of like just get, it's just a giant little finger.
Come over here, man. I can't, I can't hear you. Have you seen it?
I've seen just a couple episodes.
Yeah.
But at the ending, yes, it's just a giant middle finger.
Is it really that bad?
It is. The ending is just a giant middle finger to a lot of fans. So
Yeah.
I'm not a hardcore fan, and when I saw it, I just saw it because I heard it.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, if I really invested time, I want to throw down with the creators. You know.
So it's not worth it.
I mean,
Am I wasting like 30? How many hours of my life? 50 hours of my life.
It's a good ass show. It's a good ass show.
And I'm not wasting 50 hours of my life.
You're not.
Because that's 2 days of my life.
That it's a good show. The ending is gonna make you want to fight somebody.
Okay. All right. That's all I need.
I gotta go real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. No problem. People are saying they like the ending, yet you're wrong. Nah, ending is good. 80 Hours of Genius. Sopranos is the greatest crime TV series. You're wrong on this one, man.
What happened?
They're saying you're wrong on this one.
Oh, Sopranos?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, man, whatever.
You're not wasting your time. Watch it. The ending was fine. Huh.
I disagree with the ending, man.
You disagree with the ending.
I
Okay.
disagree with it 100%.
So yeah, well, Jess comes back. Season 12, 13, season what? 12, 13, season 4, and 10, season 5. Whoa. Jess had to sneak away to hide in his stock box so he could avoid probation pie. I mean, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because I just got an email notification saying that I'm getting a box from In Stock Trades pretty soon. So maybe
it did involve my wife. She was coming in the front door and the dog was barking incessantly for like 10 minutes. So I was worried that a burglar was coming in or something. The dog was going on so crazy. The dog was going goofy.
It might have been John P. He was at your door.
So let's see. Where are we? Our next one?
Yeah.
The next one is, I have not seen this movie enough, and I've only seen it twice, but I loved it. I need to see it again because I know there are some things in there that I did not pick up on because it's told in a very interesting manner. And I think it is Spike Lee's best movie ever. That's Inside Man.
I've never seen that.
Oh,
I've never even heard of this.
Really? Denzel Washington and Clive Owens are in this movie. Wow, what a super well put together movie this is. It is told in a very unique style. Denzel Washington is at the top of his game. Clive Owens is just amazing in it. And it is Jodie Foster's awesome in it. Then there's what was the dad's name from Sound of Music? I can see his
I wouldn't know
his face. Yeah. It is so well constructed. It is so well done. It's ostensibly about a bank robbery, but it's about much more than that. And it's just amazing. It is an amazing movie. I absolutely love Inside Man. Denzel Washington, Clive Owens, absolutely top of their game. And Spike Lee, who is not a director that I really care for that many of his movies, this one is just super great. It's one of his best ones.
One of his best films.
Yeah.
I definitely need to sit down and watch that then. I've never even heard of it. Admittingly, I'm not a huge Spike Lee fan. I've never really cared for too many of his movies.
No, me either. And this is just a great crime drama. Christopher Plummer, yeah. Christopher Plummer is Matt Miranda names the other guy in the movie. It's not really a Spike Lee typical type movie. It's so different for him. It's more of a mainstream movie that is just super unusually done, and really, I can't recommend it enough. I loved Inside Man.
Okay. I will definitely put that on my list to check out. That's always a fan of Denzel Washington, so I enjoy most of his films. I need to see Equalizer. I've heard that wasn't too bad.
Oh yeah, I'd like to see that too.
Heard it wasn't too bad. My next pick is my favorite TV show of all time. And as of this moment, I still think it's better than The Wire, even though I haven't seen The Wire.
Wait a minute. Gilligan's Island's not a crime show.
My choice would be Breaking Bad.
I haven't seen it.
Love Breaking Bad. Absolutely love that show. I can't get enough of Breaking Bad. I still haven't seen Better Call Saul, but seeing the evolution of just an everyday, ordinary school teacher who he finds out that he has a lung cancer and he becomes the greatest drug kingpin is fantastic. I love that series from beginning to middle to end. I don't think there is really almost any slow moment in that series. I love it all the way through. Breaking Bad to me is fantastic. Every single villain, every single character is well thought out, fleshed out, is complex, and I adored that series when it was on the air.
Yeah, this is how old school I am. I've had the DVDs, not even Blu-ray. I've had the DVDs of all 5 seasons sitting in my cabinet for 5 years now or whatever it is, and I still haven't watched it. Along with season 2 of Walking Dead, I just haven't watched, and I'm so weird with TV that I just can't. It takes me a while to get into something and finish it, and I've heard nothing but great things about Breaking Bad, how just awesome it is, and I definitely really want to see it.
Yes, it's so well written, and you take almost an everyday guy who he falls on his luck because he gets cancer, and he finds out his job as a teacher isn't going to cover it. He's barely making ends meet, and he has a son who he has multiple sclerosis, if I remember correctly, and it just pushes him into this drug life, and he starts realizing. He starts realizing as the series goes on that he's good at it and that he loves it, and he becomes addicted to it, and it's corroding his soul as the series goes on. Because he is not a good guy. Like at the beginning of the series, he starts out as okay, he's kind of an everyday schmuck. But as the series goes on, you start realizing this guy is a fucking monster. Because
wow, and I remember him as the dad in Malcolm in the Middle.
This changes that completely. I mean, he goes as far as putting children in danger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, my daughter's seen it 100 times, along with Orange is the New Black. Those are, I think, 2 of her favorite shows ever. So yeah, I need to see it. It's just, I don't know. This is the summer. I should really have some summer show that I watch, but now I don't know. Am I going to watch The Wire or Breaking Bad first? And I got to finish Legion.
Breaking Bad is only 6 seasons, I think. 5 seasons?
5 seasons, I think.
I think if you were to sit down with it, you would really be hooked and you would keep watching it.
No, I've already seen Twin Peaks, and no, I do not have it on Laserdisc.
I could never get into Twin Peaks.
I saw it, and I saw it just to see it. And the first season I enjoyed. Second season I did not enjoy.
I mean, you haven't seen the new season, right?
I haven't, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, I've heard that too. It has a supernatural twist to it, right?
Well,
sort of. I don't know. I've always heard that it kind of has like supernatural elements.
It's so weird. Season 2 was weird just for the sake of being weird. I don't remember. I don't remember much about it. I remember watching it when it was on, but I remember season 2 was like unwatchable.
It was that bad, huh?
Yeah, but season 1 was very interesting.
Huh. Wasn't there a movie though? There was a movie that tied up season 2, right?
Yeah, I never saw it.
Okay.
Because at that point I didn't care.
You just lost interest completely.
Yeah, I lost it.
Is it one of those shows where it's just weird for the sake of being weird?
Well, the first season I thought was weird, but it was going somewhere. It was always leading to the next event, and you had some weirdness going on, but it was moving forward. And then the second season is what seemed to be weird for the sake of being weird. It was just odd and made no sense to me, and I just lost interest.
Eventually, you just gave up on it. You're like, I have no interest in this right now.
Yeah, which is too bad because I really liked season 1.
I'm kind of hoping that's not the case with Legion season 2, because remember, season 1 of Legion was weird, but it kept you. It hooked your interest, and you kept watching through all of it. And they can easily fall down that hole where it's just, this is just weird and it makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, we need to watch it and judge for ourselves, which is ridiculous that we haven't watched it yet.
I finished Luke Cage season 2, so I plan to come back and watch Legion this week.
I would love to think I could watch it this weekend. But I just don't know. I don't know.
I think Legion season 2 is like 13 episodes.
I think it's 11. I think.
You got it on the DVR?
Yeah.
Twin Peaks was weird, got through half of season 2 and couldn't finish. Come to find out later, Lynch had minimal involvement in season 2. Well, that's probably why you don't like it.
Yeah, 11 episodes of Legion, and I have like 45 episodes of Supergirl and 65 episodes of The Flash, and about 70 episodes of Modern Family. Ever since I started doing YouTube, I've done nothing but read comic books and listen to music with 100% of my time, and I rarely watch anything else. I rarely watch television.
You got to find that balance.
I do.
It's important to find that balance. I get burned out of comics if I read too many at once. And then I start getting things mixed up in my head. I'm like, did that happen in this or in this?
Well, that's what's good about having a bad memory. I just throw up my hands and say, I don't know.
And then you ask somebody with an encyclopedic knowledge like Riley or Omar, and they'll take care of it.
Right. Yeah, those guys are amazing.
Dexter is the show that shits on its fans at the end. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Oh, interesting. I watched the first season of Dexter. I enjoyed the first season, but I didn't watch it past the first season.
Get up to season 4 and stop. After the John Lithgow season, the Trinity Killer, you can totally stop that and you'll be perfectly fine. It goes downhill pretty quick after that. Season 5 is good, and it's a nice bow to end the series if you want it to end there, but just stop right there.
I think it's a great premise.
Oh, it is. It's a great show. Like the first few seasons are fantastic.
Ooh, Into the Badlands. Ice is. I love the first season of Into the Badlands. Did you ever see that?
No, but I've heard good things.
Oh yeah, the acting isn't really that great, but the action, the kung fu Hong Kong action in it is wild.
Yeah, they do the wire kung fu, right? That was popular in
Yeah, they're all crazy, and there's season 2 out now, which is of course on my DVR that I haven't watched. But yeah, Into the Badlands. That first season was great.
Yeah, I need to sit down and watch it.
There's no guns allowed in this sort of alternate universe, and so the only way you can defend yourself is martial arts. And like even the women, like the super dressed up fancy lady, knows how to defend herself in her her frock and gown and everything, and goes nuts in high heels. So it's great.
Biggie Cheese asks, Lewis, were you rooting for Walter White towards the end or against him? Poor Jesse, he was only trying to do the right thing. You know what? I wasn't rooting for him almost at all. I thought he crosses a certain line, and it's really, for a lot of fans in Breaking Bad, the farther you go into the series, you yourself kind of have a breaking point where he keeps upping the ante as far as the terrible shit he does to get away from the police and to get away from the mob and things like that, and to continue his drug kingpin things. And it's like, as a fan, you could keep moving the goalpost as far as to what you will tolerate before you think this guy's a complete fucking asshole and a monster, and I hope he dies. Or you just never reach that point. I reached it. I don't want to spoil anything because I know Jess hasn't seen it, but I reached it around the point the situation involving the kid with the plant. That's where I said, okay, there is no redemption for this character. Like, he must die at a certain point towards the end of this series. And no, I wasn't. Well, I don't want to ruin it for Jess, but I wasn't rooting for the Nazis either. But it's so good. Such a good show.
Actually, I'm jonesing to see Into the Badlands season 2 right now.
Is that what you're going to start?
Ice has brought it up. I will watch Legion first, but I gotta see Into the Badlands.
So Legion is on the list, and then followed by Into the Badlands.
I think so. Yeah.
You need to watch Handmaid's Tale.
Oh yeah, you are probably about the 4th person to tell me that. My dentist told me about that the other day. He was raving about it.
Handmaid's Tale is good, man. We're catching up on the 2nd season tonight. We are about 7 episodes into this season. It's so good. So good. It's the best thing Hulu's putting out right now, and it is terrifying.
What?
Handmaid's Tale, baby. We're not on episode 9. Oh, okay, we're on episode 9. She knows best.
Yeah. Totally. My last movie, I guess, well, we started talking about TV. I loved Hill Street Blues and NYPD Blue. I love those shows like crazy, but I'll pick a movie, and that is Usual Suspects.
The Usual Suspects. Wow.
Did you see that?
I've never seen it, but I know who Kaiser Sose is.
Yeah.
I know who Kaiser Sose is. That was ruined for me a long time ago.
Oh, that's too bad. I never did know that. So that movie, I saw it in one of the rare movies I saw in the movie theater. But yeah, that was a clutch movie and a great performance by everybody in that.
That was Bryan Singer's one of Bryan Singer's first movies, right?
Oh, is that right?
Was that Bryan Singer?
I don't know directors like you guys do. You guys have a much better memory for directors than I do.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro's in it. Kevin Spacey is in it before everybody knew what a creepy weirdo and monster Kevin Spacey was.
Yeah, Stephen Baldwin, like his only decent movie.
Oh, wow, that's right. That was when he was on coke and before he found Jesus.
Right.
Now he's super religious.
That comic Kevin, not Kevin Spacey, Kevin
Smith?
Kevin Sorbet or whatever his name is. I can't think of his name. Kevin Pollak. You'd recognize him if you saw his face.
I probably would. Young Del Toro, you barely understand Benicio del Toro in the movie. You know, I'm kind of surprised there's a crime film you haven't mentioned.
Me?
Yeah, I'm disappointed in you.
Dark Knight?
No. The Dude, man.
Oh, The Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski,
I guess that is a crime film.
Isn't it? Doesn't it count?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, yeah, the rug really pulled the room together, and he wants his rug back.
Of course, I've never seen The Big Lebowski, so.
Oh,
I've never seen it.
one of my faves.
All I know is that there's bowling involved in it. It has John Goodman and The Dude.
Yeah, and the dude is always in this long sweater and like pajama pants, and he's always got a White Russian in his hand. He's always drinking White Russians.
It's one of those that it's on my list to finish it, to go ahead and watch it.
Oh, there's so many classic lines in there that people just keep repeating to each other. There's a Lebowski Fest that gets like 40,000 people in Florida or something, and they're all just reciting lines from the movie.
Do they go play bowling after?
I'm sure they do. I think they're all drinking White Russians and, dressed in the long sweater and I don't know, dressed up like the dude. It is such a great movie.
The Dude Abides.
The Dude Abides.
Wow, Clark Nato says he watched The Big Lebowski twice and he totally hated it. Shame.
Well, we weren't meant to be friends then, I guess.
Let's do another 5 minutes. I'm starving and I want to get dinner. We're going to keep it pretty tight today.
Okay.
Before we get out of here, one more plug for our beautiful sponsors.
InStockTrades.com.
Yes, sir.
Up to 50% off your collected editions. Over $50 in ordering product gets you free shipping in the United States. 2 to 3% added on to those discounts and loyalty discounts. OmniBros discount coming up soon. It was hinted at to me by one of their famous employees that it would be coming up in the next couple of weeks. Fabulous customer service. And how do they package their products, Louise?
Friggin-tastic. Incredibly well done. Like I said, Jess, like a newborn baby child in a blanket. I've never had a single issue with in-stock trades on any of my packages whenever I get them.
And a reminder just popped up on my calendar that says tomorrow night is the night we give away the IST gift card on the show, the $50 IST gift card.
The giveaways tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. $50.
In IST credit. That's right. That's tomorrow. So I have to think of a good trivia question.
Yeah, Jess does take bribes. He does take bribes. Speaking that this is a crime show, that deal is pretty much a steal. Oh, okay. That was horrible. No. But so, Jess, do you guys know how can they win the $50 gift card tomorrow?
Tomorrow, it is the Thursday show with me and Riley because Omar's still on vacation. Oh. I will ask a trivia question having to do with Omniboslive. You will email me the answer. I give the email address, and first 10 people with the right answer go into a randomizer, a number generator, and that's how you get your name picked for a $50 gift card to IST, courtesy of IST.
There you go. It's a great chance for somebody to score 50 bones on their next.
And given how cheap their books are, you can get a lot of books with $50.
Absolutely. My last and absolutely last choice, unless you have anything else on your list.
Nope.
I would be remiss if I did not include Heat by Michael Mann with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. Great crime movie. That diner scene with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino is one of my favorite diner scenes of all time. If you haven't seen Heat, do yourself a favor and just go watch it. It's my recommendation for this week. It's everybody's homework. Everybody in the chat, your homework is to go watch Heat. It's on Netflix right now. It has Val Kilmer before he was fat, and then he lost the weight. Before Iceman started melting, and he became Iceberg Man. I don't know where else I can go with this lame joke, so I'll just leave it there. But I love Heat. It's great. The opening shootout scene involving the armored trucks is fantastic, and it's one of my favorite films.
And I've never seen it.
Dude, it's on Netflix. If you get 2 hours out of your night, you should definitely sit down and see it. Is that Val Kilmer after Batman Forever? Or before Batman Forever? Before he was Batman.
You got me.
Val Kilmer wasn't. It's hard to say. Who was the worst Batman, Val Kilmer or George Clooney?
I never saw the George Clooney movie, so it's not really fair for me to judge it. It sounded awful, so but I don't know what kind of Batman he was. Maybe he was a good Batman surrounded by terrible characters.
It's a pretty terrible movie. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger with puns and ice. It's pretty horrible. You also have George Clooney in the phase where he still didn't stop the wobbling.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's
doing the head thing. Yeah.
That was before George Clooney. Because if you watch old George Clooney movies and old George Clooney on ER, he had this weird tick where he wouldn't stop moving his head. He kind of just always moved it when he was on film. I think of the two, I think Val Kilmer, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think Val Kilmer was a better Batman, but it's been a long time since I've seen those movies.
Yeah. It was pretty corny when he teamed up with Robin. It was a kind of a corny movie.
It was really bad.
Yeah. Clarknado's mentioning Guy Ritchie, and I loved Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Those were two really good movies.
Guy Ritchie, yeah. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch. Those are great films.
Yeah.
I like Brad Pitt. You don't understand anything he says. He's a gypsy.
Yeah. Even Jason Statham, and it was like, what did he say?
That was a young Jason Statham, too. That's when he still had a little bit of hair.
Yeah. I need to watch more Jason Statham movies because I really like him.
Oh, dude, yeah. He's a good actor. He's got a movie coming out where he fights a shark in the next few weeks, and I'm dying to see it.
A shark?
Yeah, it's called Meg.
Oh.
He fights. Have you seen?
Yeah. I've seen the preview for it. I thought it was a joke.
No. This is a real movie where he fights a giant. It's Jason Statham versus Megalodon, a giant shark.
Right. Yeah.
My money's on Jason Statham. Yeah, no, this is the real deal. It's called Meg, and I cannot wait to see this thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. What was Geostorm? That was Gerard Butler, I think, this year that came out. I wanted to see that too. I'm a sucker for bad films.
Yeah, what's the is there one where he's got to keep his adrenaline level high or he dies? Crank. Yeah, I need to see that.
Oh man, Crank 1 and 2 are just so they're so fucking over the top and crazy. And they just keep topping themselves as the movie goes. Ouija, have you seen Crank 1 and 2?
Fucking love them.
Okay.
Ringing endorsement.
It's a ringing endorsement. Crank 2, remember at the end where they have like giant mask on and they're fighting each other like a Godzilla battle in a city?
That was wait, that's Crank 2?
That's Crank 2, where they have giant mask on. It gets so batshit insane that it's
You think they can't go crazy anymore, and then they just throw up a notch.
Yeah, just when you think they just can't top themselves, they top themselves.
I need to see Crank.
You do. It's very graphic. So that's putting it lightly. Very graphic, but it's fun. They're fun movies. And what they do with the camera work is great. All right. So I'm going to get out of here, Jess. I'm hungry and I want some food.
Thanks, everybody, for participating in the chat. We appreciate everybody. Please give us a like or subscribe. You can also find Luis at Comics Guide 101 on YouTube. You can find me on OmniDog's Vault on YouTube. And you can also find us on the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community Facebook page. And you can also listen to Omnibros Live as a podcast if you go to iTunes. So feel free to do that. And with that, we thank you and we say peace and love, peace and love. Thank you and good night.
Have a good night, everybody.